Hi Raghu, welcome to Chai Shop Conversations. How have you been?
Hi Pranav. I've been good, Pranav. Busy but good. Tired but getting sleep now again.
Now the in Bangalore only, huh? You've not been
Yes,
traveling now?
I'm back. No, we have like a 40-day travel break where we're not doing that many gigs. So,
Okay. Only practice
yeah,
then.
so it's been practice, finishing older work, uh, discovering newer work.
Okay.
So only that.
Okay. So I mean, whom are you playing with now?
So now the only gig that I do is I'm playing on stage with Lucky
Okay.
Ali. That's the main gig that is there.
Okay.
Apart from that, there are the one-off gigs that have been there with the people I've been playing with for years, such as Ishita.
Okay.
Apart from that, I've just been trying to like meet new people, write music,
Mm,
build up this space, as you can see,
mm.
so that
That's a
I can
very
have
nice too.
access to anything in arm's reach away.
How
And
long
also teaching myself. Pardon
how
me,
long
sorry.
did it take for you to build that
Uh,
space?
3 years. It's been still consistent since 2021. I've been at it. So I've been teaching myself this
Okay.
instrument, which is the key flute,
Mm.
Western flute. And I've been teaching myself, I don't know where it is. It's there, yeah, the trumpet. It's there. That's on the cards. And I've also been teaching myself what I've come to discover as one of my most favorite instruments ever, which is this guy, which is the clarinet. Um,
Mm.
this is one of the nicest sounding things there is. Nicest
Okay.
investments I've made, I think. So I've just been busy with these three things. That's it.
Very
So
nice.
yes.
So have you been teaching as well?
No. So I stopped teaching in December 2021
Okay.
with TSM. That was the last teaching gig I had.
Okay.
After that, I do have like I think what, three students that are there.
Okay.
But they are very like they are very self-educating guys who just come when they have like very deep questions to ask about like music and stuff, and they generally come for like a 2 hour, 3 hour session. Then I don't see them or hear from them for months.
Okay.
So apart from that, no, teaching also requires dedication. No, you know this.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
been
yeah.
in that field.
Yeah.
So that time is not there. So I was recently talking to one company, and they were telling me, "Oh, we require a full-time teacher." I was like, "Man, count me out," because I know the commitment is a
So,
very big thing there.
because I think in the beginning you start learning music to play on stage. I mean,
Correct.
right? And if you end up just teaching, I don't know. I mean, some people might like it, but I don't know
Mm.
if it
Yeah.
is going to be good for everybody though. But
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
what do you play the guitars with Lucky Ali or the bass?
No, so I play bass guitar with Lucky Ali. I also do a bunch of other things with Lucky, which is I manage the production, I manage the tech,
Hmm.
I manage the like the overall feel of the concert, etc., things like that. So me, along with the team that we have, there are 4 or 5 of us who are there
Hmm.
who manage all of this. So it's let's just say like my job starts about if the show is tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock.
Hmm.
My job starts generally around 2 o'clock today, and
At
we go
2
until the
p.m.
night with set 2 p.m. the
Yeah.
previous day. Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially 36 hours almost before the show.
Oh shit.
And yeah, and it's full setup, like set up stage, set up PA, tune PA, do system design, do
Okay.
PA design, PA EQ, the whole works. And also there's a wonderful team that's there. So Akash is mixing for us now.
Okay.
Nitin Joshi used to mix for us before.
Okay.
Akash Kumar is mixing for us now.
Hmm.
And we work with these two engineers, like, on and off, depend. So that's
Availability and
the
stuff.
thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, and it's a very, 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 very full-time job. It's an on-ground, run around from stage, run around there, take measurement, run around there, take measurement. That sort of a job.
So you definitely can't take two gigs back to back. Like say one gig is on the 17th, the next gig is on the 18th. It's almost impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that I'll take up gigs with two artists now,
Hmm.
because one is that belief in the artist has become very important to me after doing this for such a long time.
Correct.
I don't see myself fitting in places where I can't even relate to the music.
Mm.
So I stopped playing with a bunch of artists because of that reason. Because I mean, I can sit at home and just play whatever I want, like.
Correct.
Uh, but that relation factor is one which is
Hmm.
there. The other is, of course, like I said, the time factor is very heavy.
Mm.
So to take up this means to take up like one show in Bombay with one artist and then have the next day in Bangalore with Lucky.
Mm.
That will be one dynamic that will be crazy.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to ask you how you started playing music. So what was your first instrument?
Oh, very strangely, I started playing Veena. Veena was my first instrument.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, so I come from like a family that is musically very inclined.
Okay.
Though I think my dad wanted to be a musician at some point, but couldn't,
Okay.
because of whatever reason.
Mm.
Also, grandparents are heavily into music, heavily into like Carnatic music, etc., etc. So I was put into Veena classes. I don't
Mm.
know. I was in fourth standard, I think, when that happened.
Mm.
Fourth grade, which is, I'm 92, no, 96, I'm guessing.
Mm.
And from there, I think I went for class for about 6 months, 8 months. I don't remember. I went and I stopped because the teacher was too strict. She was like, you have to play Janti Varse, you have to play Sarle Varse, you have to know all this. Hey, no chance. Yeah, and then fast forward, I think, yeah, fast forward to 2002 when we shifted to Hyderabad.
Okay.
We lived in a very, very like where we stayed in Hyderabad, which is now called Cyberabad. Now it has
Okay.
totally changed. But back then, when we moved there was nothing. There was one road leading to where we lived,
Mm-hmm.
and peacocks. That was it. There was nothing,
Mm.
literally nothing. Just
Mm.
zero. No offices, no buildings, no nothing. So out of boredom, I picked up the guitar because there was a guitar lying around in the recreation room of the place where we stayed.
Okay.
And I taught myself how to play like guitar on whatever form of internet existed back then. So
Oh, really?
after that, I think what about like 3-4 years of that, and that time only was that, like, a huge change in the Indian acceptance to other things like campus rock idols. Remember that, no? CRI.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah, and then GIR. These are two things that were like really,
GIR,
really
I don't
big
know.
back then.
What was GIR again?
Great Indian Rock. It was this huge rock festival that used to happen. I think stemmed out of Bombay and then
Okay.
grew into other cities.
Mm.
Um, and then CRI actually, like, I think was done by DNA Networks. I think
Mm.
they were the brainchild behind. I'm not too sure about this, but uh, they went to every college and they got
Correct.
bands to
I
audition
remember
and
that.
gave them a
Yes.
platform, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that happened, and then there was some rock, heavy metal, Megadeth, Metallica, Dream Theater, all that
Oh,
phase.
that is correct.
And then I went through engineering because one is I had a curiosity to it.
Okay.
Two is my mother said, whatever you want to do, you better have some background in something, which I'm very happy that she made me do it. And my granddad actually wanted me to go into ophthalmology, to go
Oh,
study how specs are made. Yeah,
no,
yeah. So I
no, no,
didn't
no.
see the. No,
Mm.
thinking back now, maybe I could have made that work too. Who knows?
Maybe.
Uh, who knows? Now it's like in hindsight, everything is 2020. No, everything is possible when you look back.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
yeah, then after that, I went to. I finished that
Allah,
thing, came back to Bangalore.
till all this time, you were just self-taught?
Correct, I was. I went to one person named Alexander Dodds, who's in
Okay.
Hyderabad. He's one of India's best luthiers now. He's gotten into the luthiering world, into that
Oh,
kind of thing.
nice. Huh.
Yeah, yeah. So he's one of the nicest people I've ever met, like who basically like gave me a bunch of exercises and said, okay, you do what you want to do, but this you should know.
Okay.
Like this strumming stuff, you should know this. It doesn't matter what you do beyond this, but you do this. And over the years, we grew very close. Like he's still a very close friend.
Okay.
And that he kind of propelled the self-teaching into having a curiosity for saying, you can maybe learn from others also. You know, like, so that is quite cool. So very subconsciously he did it. So it was very nice.
But learning from others, in your opinion, is it good, or some people say you need to have your style of playing the guitar? So do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, so it's a very good question. So like learning from others is innate to us as humans, you know, like the only reason we learn to walk is because people around are doing it. It's a necessity to do it, right?
Yeah.
All of us don't walk the same way. We
Yeah.
kind of figure out our own way, like along the years, whatever happens, right? So I guess learning instruments is like that also. It's like learning a language at the end of the day. So you're learning, I think after like, wow, 14, 12 years of playing guitar, I realized this, like that the vocabulary is the same. The methodology is different.
Right.
So now I go and learn, like I talk to people who've been playing flute for decades, you know, and playing clarinet, etc. And I ask them technique, physical technique as to, because the notes are the same.
Correct.
The notes are not any different. It's not like it's just a question of like how to play or where to play. Just like me trying to learn percussion or drums, right? The rhythm, I know. If you have to tell me, I can play like all this with my snap. But if you put a stick in my hand, the best example, I'll tell you. So the drummer's push pull technique, right?
Correct.
That's very cool. I can do it with my hand.
Right.
Okay, but you put a stick in, no chance. It becomes straight.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure out how that works, you know. So it's just the technique. I know the end product.
Correct.
So like learning from others, I guess you choose what you want to learn, right? And in the beginning, when you don't have the choice, I guess it is good to follow certain ways because it will lead you somewhere where you can feel like, oh, I can do more, you know.
Right.
I can do more, like, you know. So you have an example. So it's always good, I guess, to have, because if you don't hear people talk English, you will never be good at talking English.
Correct.
It will be broken. It will be like, and if you don't try to communicate, so I guess it is needed. The bad part of it is trying to be exactly like somebody else. So that's a different topic altogether. That's
correct. Yeah. So when you started practicing, okay, you were telling me about what you did after engineering.
Right. So after engineering, came back to Bangalore, moved back here, and then I played with a band called No Era, which was Noel playing guitar and Ezra and Ashok playing bass and drums respectively. I was playing lead guitar. Noel was playing rhythm guitar. These were those days when you were separated as a guitar player. And Noel is someone who comes from like a very rich playing background. Like, so he's somebody from the Calcutta scene who's been in the heyday of the Indian rock scene, you know, in the 70s, 80s. He's played with like Great Bear and all these old bands that's there, you know, Deepak Balakrishnan, all these guys, right? And he comes from that pedigree. So he basically influenced a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of playing and stuff like that. That definitely came as a byproduct, but he influenced a lot of listening choices in my life. So because before I met him, I would have never heard smooth jazz or anything like that, or Dave Matthews Band, or it's very very far extreme because that guy listens to like everything. His appetite for music is insane. So that kind of like put into my head saying, wow, okay, there is so much more that can be done. And around that same time only, I was getting into jazz. Jazz. Yeah. And then 2 years of that in Bangalore. Then after that, I always wanted to go to a music school. I applied to Musicians Institute. I think it must have been 2009 to go study with Sid Jacobs. Right? Sid Jacobs is this phenomenal fingerstyle jazz guitarist, right, who does like the most insane 4-voice leading Bach style jazz stuff, right? very hardcore harmony and really moving voice, just like a piano on a guitar.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wanted to go study with him. 2009, this was, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2009. Went for visa. One guy sitting at the visa office told me, "Man, you have no career in music. You're going to immigrate to America. That is why you're here. I cannot give you a visa. Bye."
Oh shit.
So this is 2009. Yeah. After that, I said, no, I want to go do something. And I went and lived in Goa for almost 3 years.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. And 3 years just playing every day, playing just any gig like that will come my way, I would take.
Hmm.
Pop, jazz, electronic, play with a
Hmm.
DJ, play with whatever, just go solo
Hmm.
for hours. I would take everything up.
Okay.
Like for 3 years. Like, and at that time, Goa was also at this point where they still allowed a lot of foreigners, especially on the creative side, to come in.
Hmm.
So there was a huge inflow of like all these musicians who are coming in from across the world. Like, for example,
Correct.
Avishai Cohen, the sax player.
Yeah. No.
I met
Ah,
him. I met him in Goa.
what?
John Butler, the guitar player from Australia. I met in Goa.
Okay.
So all of these guys just come there for vacation. It was just such an open thing. There's so many people like I've met who are like really high up, like on their skill level as instrumentalists and musicians in Goa. 2011, left Goa,
Hmm.
completely cold turkey, did not say bye to anybody, just woke up one morning, caught a bus, came to Bangalore. In 14 days, I was on a flight to Malaysia to go to music school.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Malaysia music.
Mm.
Which music school there?
So I've always wanted to go to Berkeley.
Okay.
And once I saw the fees and stuff like that, I said, no, it was very hard. But at that point, they had this thing called as the BTP, the
Okay.
Berkeley Transfer Program, which is
Okay.
basically you do 2.5 years of your Berkeley degree in a school that they have accredited abroad.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you do 1.5 years in Berkeley.
Hmm.
Basically, that was their main thing.
Hmm.
But when I went there, because I already came from like about 10 years of playing,
Hmm.
I kind of skipped out on that first foundation course of 6 months because I already could read, I
Okay.
already could play, etc., etc. So that was fun. 2 years in Malaysia, 2.5 years studying there in Malaysia.
Okay.
Again, a big school, which is again very cool. So a couple of my teachers from Malaysia who are Indians, Mr. Vinay and Mr. Nilesh Thomas,
Hmm.
they ended up being my bosses in the schools that I have taught in after that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
That's so cool.
so
Ella? Yeah.
it's like some very layers of
Hmm.
life,
Okay.
And 2 years, 2.5 years in Malaysia, I spent. 2014, I came back, and that's when I met you.
Okay.
2014,
2014.
14, yes, when we did the academy together.
Academy together. Yes.
The academy together, yes. That
Hmm.
was the first time I met you, 2014, yes.
2014.
So I was after coming back from Malaysia, fresh out of Malaysia.
Oh yeah. I thought you had stayed in Bangalore for
Uh,
some time before that. No.
I was here probably. I came. I remember very well. I landed in Bangalore 26th of May 2014. I remember this date very well.
Hmm.
And 20, I think somewhere in August or October, we started doing the academy,
Okay. Yeah. Correct.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we started going to Whitefield. Exactly.
Whitefield. Right. So
Yes.
Ali. Okay. Ali tanka aito. So after that, so you were in academy for almost 2 years, no? 2.5 years, right?
A year and a half, I think I was there. Because then, like one day at your house in Coorg, very
Ah,
strangely, when we were in your place in Coorg, I got a call from Sam.
correct.
This happened.
Correct.
This happened at your place in Coorg. Yes, when we were
Yeah.
there. Like, and that was, I think, somewhere around Republic Day 2015 or 2016. I can't remember.
I have
Must be
no idea.
2016.
But
I
anyway,
have
yes.
no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay. So
that
after
was
that,
when. So
you
I
went
went back
directly
to
to Sam.
After that, yes, I went directly to SAM, set up the foundation program there.
Hmm.
I was in SAM till 2017 ending,
Hmm.
which I taught there 6 or 7 semesters. I think I taught there. So I
Okay.
started by like teaching some basic level of guitar and bass, and then working on the foundation program.
Okay.
Then from the second term onwards, that foundation program was live.
Hmm.
So I was taking the foundation program plus some advanced subjects, and towards the end, I started doing all the ensemble classes and what are those things called that they used to have in the hall, man? These special classes that you have once every Wednesday in the evening, like
Workshops, sir.
workshops. Yes, that's the word. Yes, workshops.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the one.
Mm,
Yes. So that I did till 2017. That was my
mm,
last with Sam.
okay. Adadmele, you've just been playing.
Adadmele, no, actually Adadmele, like around that time, only 2017, right after I finished Sam, was when I met Lucky
Oh,
for the
okay.
first time.
Mm,
Like September, I think I finished Sam. October, I met Lucky.
mm,
November, I started playing with Lucky. So it was basically like very back to back.
okay.
And then 2018, 2019, and then came the world full stop, which was 2020.
Mm,
No gigs, nothing. Everyone locked at home.
mm,
And
correct.
2020, I started teaching with TSM. So
Mm,
at SAM, I told you, my two teachers. So Mr. Vinay Prabhakaran was my boss in SAM, who
mm,
was my audio professor in college.
okay. It's okay.
And then in TSM, Mr. Nilesh Thomas was the head of academics, who was my